Imagine this. It's a beautiful fall day, football weather, some may say. So, you and your friends decide to get some tickets and go on down to Neyland Stadium for the game. The birds are chirping, the Vols are up by 20 against Alabama. Work with me here, it's imaginary. So anyway, you're having a great day. All of a sudden, boom, you hear this explosion. The ground is shaking, people are running everywhere. You finally get out of the stadium and you realize that downtown is in flames. There's been a terrorist attack. How would you feel about going right back to Neyland Stadium the next Saturday for the game? You would be changed. The sport would be changed. So in saying that, today I want to talk to you guys about the two ways that sports in a country will change during times of warfare and economic crisis. You may be wondering, why should I care? Why does this matter to me? Whether you play sports professionally or you would rather die than watch a sporting event, the pull that sports have in America alone is huge. The economic pull and the cultural impacts it has on us will directly affect you. So, it's important to look at countries who have undergone this experience to see how they're coping with it. I decided to speak on this topic because I want to go into sports journalism, and I'm really interested in the fact that sports have this power to either unite or divide a country further. So, I did extensive research to figure out the how and why of that. So, without further ado, the two ways that sports in a country are affected during times of war or economic crisis include a greater emphasis on mega events, as well as the decrease in crowds and the death of smaller leagues. First, I want to talk to you about the emphasis countries put on mega events during war. During wartime, sports are actually a huge aspect of a country. In a 2018 article published by the Journal of Sports and Social Issues, it describes sports as two things. One, a method of social cohesion, and two, something that gave considerable boost and sense of pride and community among the public. Don't believe me? Look at post-apartheid South Africa. You want to talk about a divided nation? Let's talk about South Africa. However, when the World Cup came to their country, it didn't matter what skin color you were, and it didn't matter where you were economically. All you wanted to do was to see your team win. That's unity, and that's because of sports. In a 2017 article published by the Journal of American History, it discussed Jim McKay's Wide World of Sports. You may be wondering, what in the world is Jim McKay's Wide World of Sports? It's actually a television program that aired during the Cold War. It served to interconnect countries in a time of major uncertainty throughout the globe. In America alone, it gave us events like downhill skiing, gymnastics, and track and field. Stuff that's huge in our Olympics now, but we didn't even have before then. Now that we've covered the emphasis on mega events, let's discuss the decreased crowds and the death of smaller leagues. If a country goes into economic crisis, its sports will falter as well. In a 1984 article published by the International Review for the Sociology of Sports, it discussed the recession in Britain in the 1980s, and it discussed how that affected British soccer leagues. If you know anything about Britain or anything about Europe in general, soccer is a huge part of their culture, or as they call it, football, but I don't really think that's true. So it's a huge part of their culture. The article stated, quote, "The onset of the recession in Britain has been accompanied by descriptions of crisis in professional soccer that are largely economic in expression. Nobody's going to these games. They love soccer, but they're not going to spend $50 that they don't have on a ticket they don't need to go to, you know? So this is major leagues. Nobody's going, they aren't making any more money, they're falling even further into debt. And this is the major leagues. The smaller leagues, forget about it. Nobody's going because nobody's even playing. There's absolutely no money coming in, so those leagues will fade out. In summary, I hope that this has given you a better understanding of the two ways that sports in a country are affected during times of war and economic crisis, which include higher emphasis on mega events, as well as decreased crowds and the death of smaller leagues. So, knowing what you know now, would you go back to Neyland? Thank you.